Welcome back to another episode of The Natty Teacher. I'm, of course, your host. Who else but The Natty Teacher. And today, we got a push day, our Push B session. Coming off a nice rest day yesterday. Again, this is my first training week back after a complete week off of training. Again, to make it clear, even though I did take 7 days off from the gym, wild, I still did fasted cardio every morning and my core work as well. Diet is in a great place right now. My caloric surplus is only between like 200 to 300 calories above maintenance. So that's where we're gonna ride out these last few months of this off season. I can tell already that the inflammation and water and all that in my body has dropped off substantially just from bringing food down, just simply like really bringing my food down, to amounts that are still, again, putting me in a surplus, but not so much of a surplus that my body's kind of fighting itself to digest that food. Okay, again, I'm not trying to force feed to grow. My weight was accumulating very easily, with the amount of food I was eating, without really being overly full or whatever. Now it's just time to, again, continue to clean that up a little bit and go from there. So, coming off of a nice rest day yesterday, I'm ready to rock and roll, get in there and absolutely crush it. What does our session look like today? Well, let's get into it. We're going to start with some seated cable flies. Get those pecs firing. Of course, this is post mobility work. Do a little band work, a little light dumbbell work. Just get everything rocking and rolling, ready to go. After that, we will go into our first bigger movement of the day, which is just a low incline dumbbell press. After our low incline dumbbell press, we'll move into our chest press. So the converging chest press, plate loaded. After our plate loaded chest press, we will move into weighted dips. Okay, this one we are going to elevate the dips a little bit higher. So I'm going to try to do it to where I actually have my legs straight. That would be the goal. If I cannot do that based on like the setup that I have, that's fine. Let's do our dips as normal, but I would like to do that. And then after dips, we have our lying Y raises using the cables as well for the side delts. And then to close out the session, we have some direct tricep work. Obviously, dips, we're getting a lot of tricep. Even in pressing movements, you're getting some tricep. But our direct tricep work today will come in the form of some higher rep tricep pushdowns. Taking a little tension off the elbows and really repping that out. We're going to keep everything in that particular movement closer to like that 12 to 15, maybe 12 to 20 rep range. But like an intense 12 to 15 or so, or 20. You know what I mean? Not like, we're getting to, 19 or 20 and it feels like I have 15 left in the tank. Like we're getting to like 15 and it's like, how am I going to get these last 5? That kind of thing. You know what I mean? So really pushing. Again, I think that push downs especially, I'm trying to kind of find that balance of like weight and also, the right amount of reps. And that's a movement where I really in the past allowed my ego to get in the way. And I feel like it's taken away from the actual connection with my triceps. So, yeah. So that's the session, guys. Again, pretty simple stuff. Nothing super crazy. Very straightforward. 6 movements total. This isn't a super long workout. Once I get warmed up and ready to rock, especially once I get through like my first pressing movement. I mean, I do very little warm-up sets after that. Once I'm through flies and pressing, those first 2 movements, I'm ready to go. I can pretty much jump right into my other top sets. So pretty straightforward. And not really a whole lot more to say. Make sure, guys, if you are wanting to get 10% off of any Aspire, again, that is ASPYR, Aspire athletic wear, make sure you use your code NattyTeacher, capitalizing the N and the T in Natty and Teacher. Again, make sure you, use that code, and make sure you send me a, What, baby? The fan's up really high, honey. It's cold in here. Yeah, the fan's up really high, sweetheart. Make sure you send me proof of purchase. Let me know just in my DMs on Instagram or on TikTok. Screenshot it, send it over, and let me know. And you guys get a discount on any training or diet program that you would want, or coaching as well. Or you get and you also get a shout out on my channel here, honey. It's pretty much all the way up. I mean, I can't turn it up anymore. It's really cold in here. But yeah. So make sure you use that 10% off code. Anyways, I'm going to get in there, get warmed up, get ready to rock and roll, get everything firing, and I'll catch you for the top set of my first movement, which is those seated cable flies. Those are coming at you right about now. All right, as promised, first movement in, we got a seated cable fly. I've really been digging this grip where I have the hands in more of a neutral position like this, slightly angled actually towards the body, almost like how I would like grip for a press. I've really found this is really nice on the shoulders. I feel like I can really contract the chest super hard. If you haven't messed around with this grip on like a pec deck or like a fly, you know, if you use like D handles on your pec deck or whatever, or like I said, or like a cable fly, I would give it a whirl. It feels really good. You know, very comfortable. But yeah, 2 working sets here. This was the top set, so we added 5 pounds to this from last week, and actually, I think added a rep, if I'm not mistaken. So not only did we go up 5 pounds, actually it would have been before my week off, excuse me. So it's been a couple weeks since I'd hit this session. But yeah. So 5 pounds up from the last time we did this movement, and also an additional rep. So I was super happy with that. And it was the same thing in the back off set. Added 5 pounds to that and added a rep to that as well. So I was super stoked about this one. Now, I will say this, with my drop in calories, my top set of pressing here, usually I try to keep this closer to 7 reps. I will say I rocked out a solid 6. I was very happy with the form, like watching it back, like it's super controlled, nice pause at the bottom, you know, all that kind of fun jazz. So it's not like this was by any means a bad set, you know, but I was going for the 7th rep, ended up, you know, failing, attempting the 7th rep here. So, yeah, we're like to hold this at closer to 7 to 8 reps. Really anything within that 6 to 8 rep range is where we're golden for this top set. But regardless, yeah, pressing strength with the dumbbells ever since I've dropped food and coming off a week off, you know, it definitely been a little noticeable. But pressing strength on the machine, I'll tell you what, that continues to spike up. Added 10 pounds from the last time I did this exercise. I was down 1 rep, but with a 10-pound addition and not anything, you know, not any kind of negative maneuvers in form, I was really happy to, you know, get this to 3 plates as my 3rd exercise in here. And this chest press is like the heaviest chest press of all time. But it's great. It's awesome. So it feels, you know, felt really good, and we'll work with that till we hit that for no less than 8 to 10. Then got our weighted dips, changed the camera angle here a little bit so you can kind of get a full body shot. And finally, it's been a while since I've been trying to lock this in for, like, you know, full range of motion, deep stretch, good form dips. You finally hit double digits with the additional 45-pound plate. So I had built up to much more weight on dips than this, but the form was just pretty much atrocious. So to be able to actually get 10 solid reps with an additional 45 pounds and, you know, go from there, that was awesome. So we did this for a set of 10, and then did the 45-pound plate again for a set of 8 after this. And this one, I apologize for, I guess you guys are going to watch the setup here a little bit. Oh, okay, little surprise point at the camera. I must have forgotten to edit the first part of this out. My bad. Usually I jump right into the exercise. Okay, and I'm doing goofy. That promise you I did not mean to keep this in for the goofy little things for the camera. That is kind of embarrassing, to be honest. Anyways, we have some lying Y raises here. So again, you kind of see me getting set up here. Usually I do a different angle here. Figured this would be nice to mix it up. And we did, this was our top set. So we added a rep to this top set as well, which I was happy with. And again, guys, very simple concept. Just using those cuffs and extending back, you know, kind of forming like the letter Y. I mean, this one absolutely obliterates your side delts when done correctly, that is. I absolutely love this exercise. This is one of those exercises where, you know, when I first saw it, and, you know, I think when a lot of people first see it, they're like, it's like too sciencey. It's too much. Like, this is just, come on, cuffs, and you're laying on a bench just for some side delt work, do dumbbell side laterals. Like, I get it. Like, I'm all about that. But I gotta admit, dude, I gave this one a whirl a long time ago, and you know, I kind of have thrown it back in the last little while, in my previous training block before my week off, and I kept it for this training block as well. Like I said, when done correctly, you know, leaving your ego at the door and using a proper amount of weight, this is a phenomenal movement. So I am a huge fan of this bad boy. But this one I do like to keep the reps a little higher. I would say if I can keep all working sets closer to like 10 to 12 or maybe even 10 to 15, that would be ideal for sure. That's exactly what we did today. Then to end the workout, we got some good old school tricep pushdowns. You can see here for the pushdown, it is just a good old school machine. No extra cable pulleys that make it, you know, easier and lower the resistance, nothing like that. This bad boy is tough. This one I did keep the reps a little bit higher. Wanted to lock in here. I believe our top set here was 15, and then we did a set of 13 and then a third set of 12. So I was really happy with that. You can see I have the elbows slightly in front of the body, really trying to force as much tension into the triceps as we can, allowing to get that nice comfortable stretch. Not too far of a stretch where we're pulling the elbows too far up. up, but enough for sure. So I was really happy with this, felt really, really good, and felt like I connected with the triceps a lot on this one. So again, yeah, 3 working sets here. It was 3 working sets of the lying Y raises as well, if I might have made that clear. Anyway, see you in the outro. Push B session in the books. Woo! That was a tough one, man. I'm going to be honest. And tough in a great way. Phenomenal session, mind you. PRs on certain things, missed a rep or so on other things. But I didn't miss any more than a rep on anything. But I noticed now with my, I think I said this in the intro, I believe. Yes. I have lowered food. Dropped about 400 calories off my day, and I've been running that for a little while now. So, when you're eating a couple thousand less calories per week, sometimes that extra oomph isn't quite always there. You got to kind of reacclimate. So my surplus is very small right now. So I know it's going to take a couple weeks, coming off a week off, surplus is smaller, to really get that like big kick. And especially for those big movements that require a lot of stability, your incline dumbbell, things like that. It's going to take a second, but regardless, phenomenal session all the same. I was off a rep on my top and back offsets for low incline dumbbell press. That was it. And I went for a rep match, but just failed on that rep on my top set. I went to start it and could tell him it's not, unless I really cheat form hard here, it's just not going to happen. So that's okay. I like to just keep those within certain ranges, and it was still within that range, so that's good. Form was perfect though, so I will say that too. My form is super tight. Yeah, I'll turn it up in just a minute, baby, once I'm done with the outro. But yeah, still phenomenal stuff. PR'd on dips, that was cool. Finally hit that 10th rep of the 45-pound plate on dips. That was really cool. PR'd on my cable flies, PR'd on my machine press, PR'd on my lying cable Y raises. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I had a ton of personal bests across the board. It was just that, that one really big movement. I wasn't quite up to my all-time bests with it, but still phenomenal session. And, it's worth it to bring that surplus down and have my body reacclimate to that, kind of get used to working within that surplus. It's worth it to have that and, be leaner than continue to just push food and get fatter and have one additional rep on a bigger movement. That's just not, the trade-off is not even close. It's not even, it's not even a conversation. You know what I mean? So now it's okay, let's reacclimate, see if we can get our strength back up to, up to where we want to be, continuing to push forward and growing on all movements, not just the majority of them, but on all of them, and go from there. So yeah, it was a fun session. I really liked that session. Again, very challenging, but it felt good doing the tricep pushdowns. I ended up doing 3 working sets of tricep pushdowns at the end of the session, instead of that close grip bench. Just again, don't get me wrong, I love those nitty gritty, just kind of tough, hard iron workouts, but at the same time, you have to have that level of recoverability, and I just wasn't having that. I had so many big compound movements in one session. I just didn't have my recovery just wasn't phenomenal, and my elbows were getting really beat up too. So I was holding a lot of load throughout the session. So yeah, it was nice. I really locked in on those tricep pushdowns. Felt really good. I felt like I really was locking into the triceps and really getting the most out of it. So that was cool. Yeah, not much more to say, man. Again, remember, if you want to get 10% off any Aspire athletic wear, make sure you use your code NattyTeacher. If you have not subscribed already, make sure you do. Make sure you check out my TikTok and Instagram, guys, if you're not already following me over there, because I post short form content right now every day. I didn't yesterday. It was the first day yesterday that I hadn't in a while. I just kind of had stuff going. So yeah, I post short form content every single day. Trying to really stay consistent with the long form content as well. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow along with the journey, and make sure you check out my other socials as well while you are at it. Excuse me. Need to get a little more caffeine in my system. Woo. Yes. Not had much today. That workout got me in a good way, in the best way. Yeah. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, make sure you give it a like. If you really liked it, maybe even give it a share. Let your friends know about the Natty Teacher. That would be awesome. I really, really appreciate it. If you have any comments or questions, any kind of feedback, anything like that, make sure you drop those down in the comment section below. When I see them, I absolutely will respond to them. And yeah, guys, that's about all I got. You know, most importantly, above everything else, God bless. And from myself, the Natty Teacher, and the entire Natty family, this episode of Road to Natty Pro is out. I will catch y'all for a pull session on the next one. Peace.